Welcome to Your Best Life podcast, where we help you discover your calling so you can live with purpose and clarity. We're Pete and Julie Morrill, your guides, mentors, and lifelong adventurers, and we're here to help you find your true north. In today's episode, we get to listen in on a segment of a coaching session between Pete Morrill and Anna, one of our coaching clients. Anna and Pete share a unique connection. Both of them served at Kidder Creek Camp in Scott Valley, California. Pete as a former camp director and Anna in key leadership roles that shaped her character and confidence. In this conversation, Anna reflects on how her camp experiences offered insight into her personality, leadership style, and strengths. Now, through coaching, she's beginning to see more clearly the bigger picture, her calling and purpose. This episode is a rich 10-minute excerpt from their coaching call. You'll hear real-life stories, lessons on leadership, and encouragement for anyone who's ever wondered how their past experiences can shape the person they're becoming. Let's join Pete and Anna now.
Putting emphasis on both getting things done and caring for the people that were on my staff.
That's the sweet spot. And it is hard, but it also, when I read your personality type, I go, it seems like there'd be a constant tension between those two in a positive way.
Yeah.
You know, are we getting things done? Is everybody okay? Is that, and I agree with you, at camp, you need to get things done, but if everybody's not okay, you know, the ship is sinking either way. If you don't get things done, or if everybody's not okay, but it probably sinks faster if everybody's not okay.
Yes, yeah, and I think that's where that actually saying that I feel like brought me more clarity to what I was thinking about, because I think staff care and staff health is something that is so important to me. And so that was something that I especially during training and stuff, but in any leadership capacity, that's something that I usually put a focus on really early on in the beginning.
Yeah. To
just establish that as a precedent. And then even thinking back to last summer, there was 1 week that we had at Timberline, 4 more cabins than we normally have.
Oh, wow. Okay.
We were using all 13 cabins plus the 2 staff cabins for campers because it was just such a full week. And that was a week that the counselors had such grace for me and Zeke, who was my co-leader, because they knew okay, this is a week that is just going to be almost full focus priority is going to be on getting stuff done and making sure that things are running the way that they're supposed to. But since Zeke and I had put so much focus on the staff care thing beforehand, it kind of just set that precedent of they showed us so much grace. We knew that they were doing okay.
Yeah.
Because we knew how they worked and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You anticipated the need and you had invested already in terms of, you put some positive social chips in the bank, so you could use them because you knew you were going to need to use them.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, I actually love it.
Yeah, I can relate to that. It is invigorating to have so many variables and to feel like they're somewhat lining up in formation, the logistical, the schedule, the spiritual, the social dynamics, the physical factors that are all somewhat synchronized. I would always feel when we had campfire at the river, you could feel the sense of, is the camp in a good place or not? And usually, usually by that Wednesday when we were leaving the river, what I liked, we used to do the river at the end of the week. And I don't know, I'm not even 100% sure when you guys did it, but we always did it on Tuesday and Wednesday because we felt like there was such a relational connection from the time at the river that we could carry that wave a lot better. But it took me 2 years to figure that out, that, there's so much relational bonding that goes on and breaking down
Yes.
barriers and all that. So, yeah.
That's so true.
But if you had a bad river trip, it was the same thing. You were trying to recover from that at the same time. So, yeah.
Yeah, that's so true.
So you coach yourself. So it beats you up a little bit in terms of the things that are challenging aspects when you're dealing with team members. And you said, as you lead, remember to be patient with others and with yourself. Take time to hear and encourage people's ideas, especially when they're on the quieter side. Are you thinking of a specific circumstance, or is this just a general coaching?
I think it's more just general. I think that is like when I do start to lean on more of like the task oriented side of things. It's like very easy, and that's kind of like coming back to like with like being patient with myself. Like there are times when those things kind of bring up those like past feelings of like inadequacy or like performance anxiety or like am I good enough, like that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And so just like taking the time to like remember like, okay, I'm actually human. Like I don't like I'm not going to do everything absolutely perfectly, but like it's like God who actually like makes it sufficient and makes it enough, you know? And so like that's part of it. And then I think also because my brain is like I can like think through like the strategic problem solving things a lot quicker, which I think is something that I inherited from my mother.
Oh, really? Okay. Yeah. I can see
the way
that.
The last like 2 years I've been realizing in that area that I'm way more like my mom than I thought I was.
Yeah. Yeah.
But, like just like realizing like, oh wow, actually like a lot of people that doesn't actually like come as naturally
right
to as it does for me, and just like realizing like, okay, like for some people it's going to take more like time and explanation for them to actually like understand and like come on board with what's happening and like that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And so I think that was the main thing of like remembering to be patient with others and with yourself. It's just for myself remembering I'm not going to always be perfect. And then with others, just like remembering like, oh yeah, they're made differently than me. And that's like actually a good thing, you know?
Yeah.
And then I think the remembering, oh yeah, take time to hear and encourage other people's ideas, especially when they're on the quieter side. One of the things that they listed was overwhelming enthusiasm, and I crossed out overwhelming because I was like, I don't think I'm quite as extroverted as they're making me sound.
Okay.
But like that is something that like when I get very like excited about things or enthusiastic about things, and like having so many interests and like ideas of how things can go and that kind of thing, like I can tend to just like get in my zone. And then realizing like, oh wow, there's actually people on my team who I might be leading who might seem like quieter, but they actually have like really important things to say and to add. And so just remembering to like make sure that they know that they're valued and like encouraged to actually like share what they're thinking about and that kind of thing.
How do you deal with the Eeyores? You're familiar with Winnie the Pooh?
I am.
Yeah. So there, a lot of times a team will have an Eeyore, or at least the person will be an Eeyore at certain phases of the team's movement. How do you deal with those kind of people?
I think that's something I tend to be like, I'm win you over with friendship.
And do you usually do it?
I'm trying to think if I've ever had like a time where it was like straight up Eeyore did not. Actually, no, I can think of one person working at camp, but he wasn't ever like directly on my team.
Okay.
So I don't know if I actually could have in that situation.
I understand, but you didn't have that opportunity, so you'll never know.
Yeah. But like, I think typically, like, when it's like the Eeyore of like, that's something that's like, they're just going to be a lot more like, not necessarily pessimistic in a bad way, but just like thinking through a lot more like what could go wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Like usually for me, like the best thing is like, okay, just like by building a friendship with them, that's going to take like a huge chunk of the things that are hard about that just away, because then like you have that established connection of realizing like, oh, okay, they just like think differently than me and they see another side of things. And then like knowing that they also need what I have, of just like learning to be like, oh yeah, like things might actually not go wrong at every turn. Like that kind of thing.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So I think that's another one though, where like, I think I've learned a lot of like from my mom, because my mom tends to be she like tends to think of like okay, what could go wrong? But that's actually such a strength of hers that I think used to drive me so crazy. And then like now realizing, oh wow, that's actually such a strength, because she like sees so many things that other people might not think about.
Yeah. And
it's like such an important part of the team. And I would not call her an Eeyore by any sense of the word.
But yeah, what a careful critiquer, right? In other words, they're critiquing not the mission, but they're critiquing, oh, well, we might have trouble at this stage of the mission or whatever. And they might encourage you to come up with a plan B, or at least think through everything. Almost never goes as swimmingly as you think it's going to go when you plan it. So let's think through how we're going to deal with some unforeseen things. So
Yeah.
Today's episode of Your Best Life was brought to you by True North Quests, helping you discover your calling so you can live a life filled with purpose. Find out more at tnadventures.org, where you can book an appointment with a calling coach, learn about upcoming True North Quest workshops, and more. And by Marble Mountain Kennels, where exceptional Labrador retrievers are bred and trained for adventure, companionship, and service. Visit mmkennels.com to meet your new best canine friend. Thank you for joining us today. Until next time, remember your best life starts with knowing your calling and finding your true north.